Hello everyone, Kevin from K-Tech Services, back again for another educational digitizing video. This one's going to be short. Basically, I've had the question about, Kevin, is there any way that I could just copy and paste my parameters that I use all the time? It's just, I have to go through. If I digitize something, I have to go through all the menus and select it, and just takes a lot of time consuming to set all the parameters from default, from digitizing it or from auto digitizing in a sense. So we're working with Design Shop version 12 professional right now. Okay, just so you know. And I'm just going to show you basically how I would go about doing this. It's kind of the way that I kind of always done it. So um, y- create a folder, okay, and I have a folder and I named it design settings, and then I'll just save a bunch of different files on there for certain densities for satin stitch, from fill stitch, etc., etc. And then certain jobs that you do that you change your densities, so you could have those parameters saved. And how do you go about doing that? Like, and obviously, like here, I have a T, but I call it satin stitch pocket size. So if we look at this, I got my density set at 90 on auto density. I have certain underlay set, for it. I have certain compensation set to points. I use points over percentage. Just remember, percentage and points are the same thing. It's just one or the other. I set the minimum to 8 points. So I have, and then of course, obviously, I set my lock stitches a little bit differently than most people do. So it just whatever you like, okay, and everybody's kind of a little bit different, and obviously the different fabrics that you're messing around with. You might have to have different densities or different column lists depending on what you're selling, etc., etc. Okay. For the fill stitch, same thing. I just have a file that I saved in that folder, and it's a little bit different. It's set a little bit. I have it 85, and I have fill selected, and my underlays are different. I have two different fills, because I'm way different how I like to do things. And compensation, I have it set, pretty much, and then lock. So, if I do something brand new, like on number two here, it's in auto, so obviously if I auto digitize that, it's in a certain way. If I take it off, it's at 3.8. Well, that's not what I like to. I mean, I'm going to be doing this on a certain shirt. That's too low. So I have to constantly go through each of these menus and adjust it, and it's time consuming. Okay, so I'm just going to show you kind of a quick way of going about this. So obviously have those, I would, so I auto digitize a logo. So obviously right here on number two. Okay. And if we look at this, it's an auto. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to, instead of going through each of those menus, or as I just talked about, I'm just going to go over here. Okay. We're going to start with the fill first. So we're going to go to our fill saved profile. And then I'm going to go inside here. I'm going to double click on this little gear wheel, click on that you just copied the parameters, cancel, and then flip back over to your design that you just digitized, which you have highlighted, and then go right click, go to properties, and then where it says paste, boom, it just copied all those fill parameters that you like. And you say, look, all that time you saved, because you liked the parameters you had before, because you figured out what you like. Okay, and you're done. Okay. Then for the satin, okay, so the next letter is over here in KTech here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my satin profile, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to double click, go inside of it, and then copy those parameters for my satin, cancel. Then I'm going to flip over to my design that I digitized, select all these satin stitches, and then right click and go to properties, and then hit the paste. Ta-da! Okay, and now it has all the parameters for the set stitch that I like. And did that take very long? No. I mean, it saved that could save you a bunch of time of instead of going through each one of these, and or you could have highlighted and go through each menu, and fixed everything the way you like it. But the way that I kind of just described, with making your own profiles and stuff like that, and then just select it, just have them here up and running, and then you just copy and paste that into the new design. Okay. That's it. I mean, this is a short video, so I hope this helps going forward. Please give a thumbs up and a like, and check out the other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by.